All right, so we're doing a session breakdown of Thanks for Everything slash You Were Everything, which is the song I just finished. And it's the biggest Qtractor project I've ever worked on. So since I had some other videos of some previous projects I've worked on my laptop, which it was an old laptop. It kind of stopped working after a while, and so I got this mini PC that was like half the cost of it and like twice as powerful. And so I was able to make this project with a bunch of plugins and a bunch of automation. It has let's see, 87 tracks. Though one of them is muted for the most part. It's like at the end I have it I have it transition out into another song. Let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah, I believe this right here. Anyways, that's just so I can test the transition into the next song on the EP. But I want to break down what went into making the song and kind of all the elements of it. Yeah, so it kind of started. I saw this video of this girl explaining uh like really finding the intention of like drum breaks. And I don't usually use drum breaks, but I was really inspired to after I saw this video. This girl was explaining like, all these rhythms have different things that they're saying and like different intentions and emotions behind them, and you want to figure out like what you're saying and find a something that aligns with that, and that's like a good starting place. And so I was like, what do I want to say? I feel like I'm so drawn to like samba and like rushing the beat kind of rhythms, like Brazilian inspired stuff. And I went through this so I have this sample pack called Breakcore is Not a Good Way to Get Laid. Let's see if we can it has so many great drum breaks, and yeah, I just went through all of them and I was like, I just want to listen to all these drum breaks and all these different rhythms. And I found this one that's really resonated with me. Let's open it up. Oh, where did I just solo? Yep. So it's chopped up a little bit, but here's the basic break. And I found it layered really well with this other one called Comet. So that kind of became the basic groove. I had these chords that I've been messing around with on guitar forever, and I just kind of started playing those over it. And let's unsolo that. Let's find my guitar. So this is like the main guitar for the second half of the song. So it's two songs. The second half is more upbeat. So this is in the second half, which I wrote first. And the guitar sounds like this. Like samba chords. Just loops. So you got that layered with the drum breaks. Nice. It's like hip hop. In hip hop, you have these like, it's really fun and easy to make a beat where you have like these breaks at the end of a measure, and anything can go in those breaks, and you can be so creative with it and just create like just interesting things that change throughout the song and move. So I like stole the tambourine from this one, Comet, which is like kind of the more it's kind of the more straightforward beat. So I took that tambourine and nice. So that's kind of filling the space. And the guitar. Oh, that's the bass. I was like, I want to build this like really interesting immersive texture. So there's this plugin from Air Windows called Glitch Shifter, and what it does is it like it has this like granular overtone, granular like pitch shifting kind of thing. Like I call it overtone. Like I create like octaves, and you can like feed it back into itself, and so it's like you add like an octave, but when you add feedback, it let me just show you what it does. I think it was at 301. Let's see if I can get it there. Yeah, and that feels really nice and full. And I have this synth, Zinad Sub Effects, and I was looking through all of the different basses in here. And the one that I found that sounds the best with that texture is this like twang bass. Let's solo that. Yeah, I like that a lot with this. I thought it would be fun to add these little like high pitched like hang on. That's like the guitar like pitched 2 octaves higher and put in the right ear. It's just like a nice little. So that's what came first. I got the beats first, and then after that I like came up with like what it was about. I just had this loop, and I was like, this loop sounds so good, and I'm just gonna like listen to it over and over again. And I was like trying to figure out what to sing about, and the words just kind of came out of me. I don't know. I was just like, let's see, where is it? There was a second verse that came first to me. I was stoic, you didn't see the way you affected me when we said goodbye. Now it's over with all your sweetness. And so that kind of was like a subconscious thing, but then I immediately was like, oh my God, I'm like processing somebody that I used to be in a relationship with. And honestly, all I feel is gratitude for what we had, and I just kind of followed that thread to the end, and it just kind of became this whole song about it. And I realized like as I was writing that this gratitude like wants to come out, but like it doesn't naturally come out all on its own, and there's all this kind of like angst and grief that also is in there and wants to come out. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna write this song, but I'm gonna write this like really long intro that is mostly instrumental, where I'm just it's kind of melancholy, and it kind of yeah, it has all these like harmonies and stuff, and it has, let's see, they're really pretty. Hang on. I love these harmonies. I was also thinking to myself, like, I used to, when I started making music, I was just trying to like entertain myself with like my own abilities. I was like, wow, I can do all these things, and I just kind of was like really tried to see like what I was capable of. And since then I've just been like, how do I channel my emotions into music? But with this I was like, I want to return to like just doing things with my talent because I can. I haven't recorded harmonies like this because I haven't found any functional reason to, but I was like, oh no, I'm gonna try that. And the same with the guitar. I have like some really interesting, like difficult kind of guitar stuff that was like felt to me a little show offy, but I was like, I can use this as a way to try something new. Anyways, I love layering these harmonies. I haven't done anything like this in a while, and oh yeah, and for the most of the first part of the track, there's this guy right here, and that is a bass note. So I'm just kind of humming that note, and that goes under like most of the whole track, and there's not like an actual bass. And that, honestly, I don't use autotune very much, but I was like, if it's going to hold down the bass, I want a consistent thing, so like I want it to be right on pitch. So I did use autotune for this. You won't see it on any of my other tracks, but yeah. So it's like Auto Talent, which is like an older kind of Linux autotune that somehow is still supported. I love it. And Fathom 5, which kind of makes something a little bit more in the bass range. It kind of oh yeah, and we get these we got our little happy chord in there. Yep, and then it all yeah, and then at that point there is ah
you were everything.
where is that little you were everything?
You were everything.
So it does have some effects on it, EQ, reverb, and pop, which is like a compressor. But on its own, it sounds like
you
this.
You were everything.
So I have a voice recorder on my phone. It's just called like ad-free voice recorder or something, and it gives you options to choose what sample rate you record at. And I recorded this at like I think 8,000 hertz or something like that. I don't quite remember right, but it's like a very low. It's basically like almost like a voice message, and I like the way it sounds. It's really pretty. I will often use my phone to record things that way because I don't know. I could probably figure it out with the computer, but there's just some feeling about it on a phone that I really like.
You were everything.
So that kind of goes in there, and that's the only words in the first half of the song. It kind of adds this melancholy feeling. Well, there's also this line about fucking MILFs. I hope I can say that on YouTube. This was in my text conversation with the person that this song is about. This is a voice memo.
I think you're right. I do need to fuck more MILFs. I don't know if you're a MILF, but like, I appreciate the enthusiasm.
My intention is that it comes off as like a memory, because it really is one, and so it's got a little bit of reverb. I don't know if I needed all this compression on it, but I wanted to be as easily understood as I could have it. And then let's see, there was one more thing. I just realized there's some sensitive information in this that I need to blur in post-production. That's okay. But yeah, as I was finishing this project, it's like a really big project that was kind of, I was trying to get a good export. Sometimes you export and there's like bugs or there's like things you forgot, and it's such a big project it takes forever to like do an export. Like that bar will be going for like 10 minutes as the computer's like huffing, and I'll realize there's a mistake and I'm like, fuck. And so as I was finishing this project, there were two things that I had in mind. One was like, okay, I have this section that has like bells in it. And I was like, I feel what that's trying to express, but there's something missing. Like, it's not expressing the essence of what it is. And the emotion is just like, kind of like, when you're just like so frustrated with something and you're just like kind of going really hard at it for no reason, and you just feel like it's just like useless. Like I'm just like grieving and I'm just like so frustrated. I'm just like, you know, I'm throwing myself at a wall. What is this? And at the same time I was frustrated with like the export. So I was just like, this I recorded this afterwards in a different session file. It's the only stem that I didn't record in here, but I added it in Audacity and just put it in here so that this could feel complete. But it's done. It's over. I like got one good export. I was like, it's done. It's over. Just like the relationship, I'm like that this like it's done. It's over. It's behind me. And that was kind of like the last of me just getting out my like angst. And then um the next part of the song starts, and yeah, this is videos all over the place. But um so let's see, where is that? So I exported the loop, the original loop that I had made. Something that a lot of people in pop music will do is they'll have like a band pass, or like just certain like frequencies, like limited frequency like version of like the pop song, and they'll put it like in the beginning, and it's I don't know. It's like this is like, it has a high pass on it, and it has like narrow, it's like mono, I should say. And I also was like, oh, it'd be so fun to like do like a really intense MP3 compression on it. So that's what I did here. I just exported like the loop, brought it into Audacity, and then like compressed it a lot as an MP3, brought it back into my DAW. And then we kind of, it gets wider. So it starts mono, and the mono is kind of going away. This is narrower, which, you know, makes it narrower. Gets wider. Metronome. Got the full beat. I love like when it's like right ear, left ear, right ear. I just love stereo stuff. Like I like things that are immersive. So that's what I did with the vocals. I got like this, I'm a freakazoid, not the only one. And I think with hip hop, you can make something really immersive if you like kind of make it really big and then make it small. Electronic music is all about making impossible spaces. And so that's kind of what I did here. I'm a freakazoid, not the only one. I was overjoyed when you made me come to that party. Yeah. So let's see. What does that sound like all together? I'm a freakazoid, not the only one. I was overjoyed when you made me come to that party with all your lovers, our fleeting family at the end of summer. I think if you make something really dynamic, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. If you make something really dynamic, at least for me, that it brought my art to the next level. And so that's what I've been trying to do a lot. Like make stuff that's like, gets big, gets small, takes you all over the place. Yeah, I've got some sounds I'm proud of in here. I just noticed this and was like, I need to talk about this. Gur bark. Yeah, so that's like a transient. I don't really honestly know what I was trying to express by that. I was just like, I just want to do that. I just want to make that noise, and have it cut out when it's supposed to get small again. The reverb cuts, which I think is all your sweetness, you were my apple pie, ripped to pieces. I keep my standards high after it all. More like dog noises. Yep. So yeah, I want to show off the drums in this song. So the drums. There's like 20 different drum tracks. They kind of come in and out and change. Thing about Qtractor, I love Qtractor. I don't think I'll ever use a different DAW, but like doesn't have sub buses, and I don't really know how they work because I've only used the Sta. So like, I don't know if I could just turn all the drums on at once if I used like, I don't know what else is there, like, uh, does Ardour have sub buses or like Logic? I don't know. I do think about that. There are some things that I'd like to try with that. And like I don't use sidechain compression in my mixes cuz I'm like it's just too complicated. I can do it, but anyways, here's the drums. So, um oops. There's a way to there we go. So, this is a tambourine that I have. I just recorded it up to my microphone. I used an SM58 for, let's see. I'm pretty sure I used this for all of the guitars and tambourine and everything. It's a $100 microphone. It was gifted to me like forever ago when I was like probably 15 or something. No, maybe like 16 or 17. I don't know. Because I, grew up, loved to sing. It was like, okay, here's a microphone. So I record all my instruments with it, and this microphone I'm talking into right now is an XS1, and I record all my vocals with it and my harmonies and my mouth noises because it's really good at high frequencies, and it's a $50 Sennheiser microphone. Yeah, I think it's like the best dynamic microphone for vocals, and I only use dynamic microphones to record because soundproofing is just so expensive and just seems unattainable, and so the other option would be using like a condenser microphone, which I believe is used in like most professional studios. Anyways, yeah, so this is my tambourine. Yeah. Yeah. So drums are pretty simple right here, but in the chorus they get interesting. I had this, let's see. I think if you're using breaks, it's always good to chop them up, do interesting stuff like that. I kind of feel that way about loops in general. Like, you can use loops, but to say that something is yours, like, you gotta manipulate it. I don't know. I loved this, and I didn't know how to use it. And then I was like, oh, I bet the chorus would sound so exciting with that. So I put that in there. I don't remember, where did I get that? Oh, yeah, breakcore's not a good way to get laid in the percussion folder. It's a really great drum sample pack. I got this snare from a like marching band drumline sample pack that I got. And I was like, I want like a big wide hit. So I automated some reverb on it. Let's see. Yeah, we got Dragonfly plate that the wet level turns on. Oh man, how do I keep them both on the screen? Let's see. I can do it like this. So when you automate reverb, which I think is like in my style of production, I think it does so much to track to automate reverb, like just have it turn on and off. Like it's big, suddenly it's small. You want to automate, usually you want to automate the wet level if you can, or like the dry wet level, because if you automate like the activate or like it turning on or off, like what'll happen is like you'll turn it off, and then like the tail from when you turned it off is like waiting to come out, so you'll like turn it back on, and like the reverb from a word you said like a few bars ago just suddenly comes out of nowhere, and you're just like, oh, that just kind of like it. I don't know. I think it muddies things up, so it's something to keep in mind. But it can be a pain to be like, every time you turn on like the automation, you type in like the level at which you want the wet level to be. But I do think it's worth it if you want like a really clean sound. Oh, something else I want to talk about because I just saw it right here and it got me excited. So, Cuica. Not sure if it's 2 syllables or 3. I am not Brazilian. I just listen to a lot of samba and I love the sound of this thing. So this is Cuica. So the way that I did that was I got a Cuica sound and I put it into my sampler and I have it so that I can wait. Hang on. There we go. Got it connected to my keyboard. So yeah, I just kind of have it mapped so every note is like a different pitch. I mean, if I had a real quick, I would like push the drum head. It's like a stick that you like rub inside of this like drum, and you have like a microfiber kind of like damp cloth, and it has this like weird like frictiony thing, and it like reverberates on the drum head. And if you push it into the drum, it like makes this sound. And you push it the drum head, and you get different pitches. So it would be like you'd be pushing and pulling, and I don't know. I think it was so cool, and I was like, oh man, I don't like really want to buy a Cuica. I am not in a place to do that, but yeah, I think it added a lot to it. It's like such a fun sound, and it goes well with the style of guitar and like the rushing the beat. I don't know. I'm inspired by samba. I'm making like samba inspired pop music, I suppose. Yeah, where's the guitar? So we're kind of doing like samba chords with like the 9th and the 13th, and I don't really know what those are, but people kind of tell me that that's what I'm doing when I play those. So I don't really know anything beyond like a 7 chord. But I also had this I think that like kind of makes it easier for you to like hear it in a way. Like it makes it sound clearer because I'm using this microphone that kind of is really shit for highs, and so I'm like, I'm gonna just like add like a octave up and just kind of pray for the best. I don't know. I do that sometimes, don't I, Mix? I wonder if better microphone, if I would still want to do that or feel the need to, or if it'd feel more full. I'm not sure. I really just mix things for like texture and fullness, whether I do it in some janky way or not. But I don't know. I find ways. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. And altogether, I wanted the Cuica to sound more organic, with a lot of MIDI sounds. Like they're not gonna sound organic, like just out the box. So if you were using other organic sounds and want to create like an organic mix, you might want to find some way to like rough up the signal, and my way to do that was to use 2Tape 5. It's like an Air Windows tape simulator. I don't really know if it's doing a whole lot. Yeah. I did use a lot of kind of granular effects in this. One that I want to show off right now is, I think it's right after this part of the song. Stereo doubler. So I love stereo doubler. It makes it kind of chops up the thing into like all these little grains and like puts one stream of them in the right ear and one stream of them in the left ear. And yeah, it does that by like detuning them slightly. So you might hear it a little more if I make this more dramatic. But at that level, you don't notice it. That's really silly, actually. Oh my god. So I use that a lot. It's fun. But when you are doing something like that, there's always like this kind of in between the samples. There's like this kind of. It's like let's see. So like you have like a wave, and it just kind of goes like that. But if you like chop it, then you just got like this part, and then like this part's like cut off, and so like you have that like kind of high pitched clicking noise that produces, if that makes sense. And so using like a lot of pitch shifters kind of have that as like a side effect, or like you notice it with this. I don't know if just like this high pitched like. So something I do is like roll with it. I'm like, okay, that kind of adds to like the feeling I'm trying to generate. Let's make it stylistic. We have this like high pitched like clicking. Let's pretend like we're just using like low quality tools to make the music. I don't know. Just drop my microphone. And let's add other sounds that kind of sound really kind of crafty and like interesting. So like I have this crazy kick that I brought. It's like, and we have this like, we're using that as a bass. I have this. Oh, I just learned about this keyboard that is also kind of fits that vibe. Like I'm trying to create a collection of sounds that fits that vibe for this part of the song, and it's like. So, it is OBXD. It's like it runs natively in Linux. I just learned about it, and it's so cool because it's like supposed to be like a vintage kind of like analog emulator in a way. It's supposed to mimic analog synthesizers, and it has a lot of really pretty sounds. It has like this kind of. I like the pitch warble that it produces, where like the pitches kind of slowly are like drifting around, and it's like just a little bit. I like dog noises. Surprise, surprise. So this is the snare from the original break that I started everything with. I just wanted things to feel like consistent. Even that's the tambourine from it. Got a bark. I like needed to fill some space, and so I was like, what do I do here? And what's like the emotion that I'm feeling that contributes to the narrative? And I was like, oh, just like wanting to like let something out and just have like all out, and then just have it just be like kind of. So I was like, okay, let's introduce a new sound. And I had this pitch shifted like string chime. It's that sound. Oh my god. So that sound is actually originally. Oh wait, is it? There it is. Yep. I brought it into Audacity and I pitch shifted it 32 semitones down, and it turned into that, and I was like, I could use that. And they're like, what does that sound like? It sounds like bells. And so in here there is this in Zin Sub Effects, like the legacy version of Zin from like 2004. It's like this tubular bells, and I recorded basically what the guitar is doing, so it's doubled, and it sounds like. So, side note, whenever I use Zen, I usually have like a MIDI track and then like run the synth externally because it doesn't run inside of Qtractor. I think some people can get it to work, but I just haven't been able to. So I just record it. I just kind of detuned it to meet the guitar. Everything in this song is like half a note like out of tune because I recorded guitar first and then harmonies, and I was noticed, and I was like, well, guess we're just gonna roll with it. So like all the synths are detuned to match. But yeah, we got our tubular bells. Oh, what is oh. So that like weird wow wow. Uh um there's like a lot of weird goofy noises in here. Let me show some of them off. My intention was like to go for like radio static, but I was like, it doesn't sound exactly like that, but it kind of fits. I love all the all the fucking crazy shit in there. There's this one. Is this it? No, there's this one that I like. I don't remember what it's called. Oh yeah. I like they can do like high pitched like sparklies. I used this a couple times in some of my other songs. Just kind of like as like an effect here and there. That's so pretty. But yeah, let me talk about Foley, because I just noticed I've got a lot of Foley right here. So to be honest, a lot of these come from YouTube videos. And I'll record them into my DAW and just use them as like ASMR sponge. That is from an ASMR video where they have like two different microphones and they're rubbing sponges on them. And I use a lot of white noise to like I think most people aren't like trained to like look for white noise. I'm like I can't listen to music without like critically listening to it, but if you do look for it, like I feel like I have like a lot of feelings that I want to be conveyed by my music that just like instruments and drums and like my mouth and throat, like I can't convey all the feelings and like guide the energy in the way that I want. And so like I'm like I want tension to build, and I need a way to do that is not going to be very like consciously perceived. So like I recorded this piano solo. It's just like kind of crazy. I don't really know. I'm not very good at keys, but what I did was I put my my like MIDI controller in the key of the song. I hit the transpose button, and I just kind of like smashed my hands all over the keyboard. And I was like, if I just get really good post processing, it'll sound like it's on purpose. So I was like, if I have a lot of white noise, I can guide the energy. So I kind of let me take out the guitar. I think it'll be a little bit more obvious what's going on here.
Everything, thanks for everything, thanks for
It would sound like
everything, thanks for everything, thanks for everything. Everything, thanks for everything.
So first thing we have this. This is a tongue click, but it has like a ton of reverb and distortion on that reverb. And that I made that in a different project and just brought it here. And I think I put a little auto panner, so it's like kind of putting it left and right, like really fast, which is like a good thing to do when you want somebody to not really notice what is happening, but you like, so you like make it go left and right, so you can't like focus on it. You can only focus on the way it makes you feel. Yeah. So that's like this satisfying like release kind of feeling. And paired with this like building tension, you're just kind of like, you're kind of like good tension, release, kind of. So I think that kind of makes you feel a lot better when this keyboard solo is really fucking chaotic. I kind of have, what is this? Space. So this is like a bass sound that kind of prepares you for a change in like the sonic landscape. Oop, they're still soloing. Let's undo that.
Thanks for everything, thanks for everything.
So like right here, low, like it goes lower, and then things change. What I want you to notice here is the bass, and it's something you don't really notice before, but like since it's already in there, like it doesn't sound unnatural. So but it's too quiet and low pitch for you to hear it. So what I've done is I've brought in a double. I've made it an octave higher, and I've just made it like the frequencies that help it sound natural. It's got an mid frequency amp on it and a high pass. So let's listen to that on its own. It's so good. Oh my god. So we go from like that's believable. That was in there the whole time. I like to think of that as like gaslighting the listener, like, oh yeah, no, that was in there the whole time. You just weren't paying attention. You were looking at this other thing. Also, like, this goes to mono. We have narrower put on it, and the tambourine comes a lot closer to the middle, and this ASMR sponge sound goes mono. So you're really looking at the bass. And I love this moment right here when, like, this is like the moment in the keyboard solo where I knew what I was doing. I was like, oh, the beat's gonna come. Let's do like a slide up the keys and hit the C, because that'll be the resolve, or like the resolve note. I don't know. So then I took it out of mono, made it stereo again, so that it like really catches your attention if you're listening in headphones.
I was stoic, you didn't see the way you were.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love that. Yeah, I have some other various sounds. I think when you like do like a rap song, like it's really easy. It's kind of a rap. It's like fast singing, somewhere in between there. I wouldn't call myself a rapper, but like anyways, it's really easy for things to sound repetitive if you don't like have interesting things that, but then if you have things that are too interesting, it can like kind of throw you off. So I just have like little things here and there. I believe Frankenverb. Oh, I want to explain that. I don't want to get too far off track. Um, but yeah, I've got this like
I was stoic, you
we got an octave on here. This was earlier a whisper track, but I reused it.
didn't see the way you affected me when we said goodbye. Now it's over with all your sweetness. You were my apple pie, ripped to pieces. I keep my standards high.
Got
After it all, now
comes
you
in halfway
feel
through.
older, but I feel small because from the
and at some point I have cuz you know, there's a line like I've was stopped in my tracks. So I was like, "Oh, I should put like a railroad crossing
start.
signal in there." And I like changed the pitch of it so that it would be the pitch of the song. I brought it down almost a whole like half step.
Nobody's fault. I've been stopped in my tracks, so 'cause
Yeah. Um so yeah, another thing Frankenverb, Frankenvox. So sometimes, or lately, when I like write a song and record it, the most important thing to me, because I used to just kind of like, oh, right, vocals, and then when I come up with more words, I'll record like the next verse. In hindsight, that's such a silly way to produce, but like, I did that because I wasn't like really like taking it very seriously, and I wasn't gonna like listen back to it and be like, oh, that was kind of disorienting, because like every time you sit down and sing, you're coming in with like a different like way that you're sitting in your throat, if that makes sense, just based on your energy level and your awakeness, and kind of, I don't know, sometimes my throat is smaller, sometimes it's more feminine, especially me, somebody who's trying to change my voice to like be perceived as like a different gender, but sometimes I'm more consciously doing that and sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm like really in the mood to like emulate a certain like style, or I have kind of less emotion or more emotion. So I've made it a priority to write all the words before I record vocals, and then record all the vocals at once and do like multiple takes, and then just kind of cut and splice from all the different ones. Like I'll find like the best one, and then I'll like be like, oh, I didn't like where I took a breath here, or I didn't like the way I hit that consonant, or this was slightly out of like time or something. So as you can see, I've like cut this into a bunch of like different. It's like one track made out of a bunch of different ones. So I just call it like Frankenvox, Franken vocals, Franken reverb, because it's taken from Frankenvox. I also have like sometimes I'll have like Franken bass or Franken guitar. Um, yeah. In the outro, I just was like, I don't really know how to like keep this going. Besides, like, we'll just add harmonies. So the first harmony is like, you know, we've got so much going on in the chorus. It's so high energy.
everything, thanks for everything, thanks.
Like I added a couple drums, but I also added this piano that like kind of makes it sound more alive. It goes from being just this guitar to guitar with piano. Makes it sound brighter, more bouncy and alive. It has MDA Leslie on it, which makes it kind of spinny between the speakers, but it's also an effect that you can hear in mono. Makes it like feel like it has like this throbbing on it, like throbbing between left and right. It's weird choice of words.
You were everything, thanks for everything, thanks for everything, thanks for everything, thanks for everything.
So I'm like, this is great, but it's gonna be repetitive if I don't like change it up. And the most natural, interesting way I know how to do that, both very interesting to me and both feels very natural to the listener is to like add harmonies.
You were everything, you were everything, you were everything,
I wanted to keep this like chaotic, bouncy feeling alive. So when the harmony first comes in, it's like going between your ears. It's like
you were everything, you
left,
were
right, left, right,
everything,
auto
you
panner.
were everything, you were
But then I'm like, I want things to feel like they're evolving into something new. So like the energy that you kind of have, like a lot of energy in this part of the song, like it doesn't feel like it's being unnecessarily restricted, but it feels like you're just taking the listener to a new place. So I like made it to go from that to like just being
everything, you
in like the right ear, and added like a third harmony in the
were
left ear.
everything, you were everything, you were everything, thanks for everything, thanks for everything.
And to like further emphasize that, I was like, I do need to get rid of the drums if I'm going to have like a satisfying outro, but I can't just get rid of the drums because that's what makes this track feel so alive. So what I need to do is add more drums, like create like this element of like, this song is interesting, pay attention. So the drums, they look like they stop, but I exported the drum loop into like one thing so that I could like fade them out with a low pass, which is like a really natural way to fade out drums in an outro of a song, I found. Sometimes the band pass is a good way to do it, but or like I used a notch filter actually recently in another song where I like took out the mids. Anyways, you can hear the highs disintegrating. I believe it also gets narrower. It's like less stereo presence, which kind of subconsciously takes some of the energy out if you're listening in headphones. But that feels like really like, it's like a frustrating feeling to have if you're just wanting to dance and you're just like, why are the drums just floating out of reach? I wanted them. I liked them. So I added this like thing. It fades into this like, yeah, oh, we got something new to play with. This is nice. I love this. I love these sounds. So what this is it's just like strung like a bunch of different sounds strung together. We've got a clappy switchy. So we've got NTH&L drum kit. Let's see, somewhere in here. I think it's, yep, ring clack and ring clack. To be honest, I don't know what that is. I imagine like somebody's metal ring hitting a surface. I don't really know, but it sounds great. And then we have a clap from let's see, without effects, what it sounds like. Yep. Like a kind of a snappy clap from Ninth Wonder drum kit, which is another great free drum kit. So yeah, and it's kind of got some of the highs taken out of it to make it kind of more naturally fit the environment around it. I really want it to feel like switchy, like you're flipping a switch or something. And it's got like all these different expressions of that strung together. That fades out too, and I've got a laser that comes in. I like the like grainy feeling that the tape emulator adds. I just kind of pushed it into overdrive. Was like, okay, we're not having like a super clean laser because it doesn't match the vibe of the track. We're gonna like try to make it as rough as we can. So that's what it would sound like. Yeah, and then we're brought back to that like, oh, 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 you were everything. Oh, oh. Yeah. So yeah, that pretty much covers it. I did not expect this to be as chaotic as it ended up being. It was just really aimless and all over the place. But yeah, that's my song that I just finished. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, I have finished the music video I'm working on. It's really fun to make. I don't know, just making it in my bedroom right now. Um, yeah, I've been like wanting to talk about audio stuff with people, and there's like not people in real life that I have around me to talk about audio stuff and like production. It's like my main hobby. It's so fun to me. Um, so yeah, thanks for watching this far, and uh, see you later.